When an army of invading Martians lands in England, panic and terror seize the population as the aliens traverse the country in huge, three-legged machines, incinerating all in their path with a heat ray and spreading noxious toxic gases. The people of the Earth must come to terms with the prospect of the end of human civilization and the beginning of Martian rule. Hello and welcome to Liam's Lyceum. I'm your host, Liam, aka Hembar, and today I'll be doing a spoiler-free review of H.G. Wells's The War of the Worlds. War of the Worlds is a classic novel by H.G. Wells, serialized in 1897 in Pearson's Magazine in the UK and Cosmopolitan in the US. It was released as a whole novel in hardback in 1898. It is a classic of what we'd call science fiction, though the term itself would be a bit anachronistic since the term science fiction wasn't really popularized, as far as I'm aware, until the 1930s. But it does have some hallmarks of science fiction, and it's easy to label it as such. But this date means it was before the pulps even, though the first pulp magazines were probably invented right around this time. It follows the trope of first contact, an alien invasion upon Earth. These aliens fell out of popularity, I'd imagine, in the 50s or 60s. These aliens are Martians, right? Further away come aliens in sci-fi now, as our own solar system becomes more familiar to us. This is told in first person. The narrator is not actually named, if I'm remembering correctly, though. In fact, most characters in port are not named. We do know our narrator is middle-class and a writer of philosophy. This is a very short novel. The invasion is equated to hubris of man's supposed superiority. It's compared to colonialists exterminating certain natives. It seems a critique on British imperialism, personally. A jet of gas from Mars sends something towards Earth. Most of Earth does not realize this. A few scientists are excited about it. Then a supposed meteorite crashes in the English countryside, and then it gets a little terrifying from there. This is a story being extremely alien, right? These aliens are extremely alien, rather. It's not even remotely relatable, these aliens. It's not an immediate devastating attack as well. I used to from the adaptations I remember. The Martians show some intelligence besides their technology as well. This is, of course, short-lived. And it's interesting here that, because I remember my first exposure to this was the movie with Tom Cruise in it, and death is not by disintegration, actually, but by immolation, which is, in a lot of ways, much worse. It seems they have less power if you look at it through immolation, but it is actually a worse way to die, probably, than disintegration. It's odd to read a sci-fi novel where the main mode of transportation is horse, alone or with a buggy as well. Airplanes did not even exist yet, so that just kind of shows this datedness of it. And there's nothing really sciencey about it besides the aliens, so that are just much more advanced, I guess. It's fine enough, honestly, and it's important as a historical text alone. It's definitely not my favorite novel from the Fin de siècle period, but one I'm glad I've read now, and I'll likely read more of Wells, as well as his competition Verne at some point. But definitely, again, not my favorite favorite type of fiction anyways. But again, I'm glad I read this. It's probably an important one to kind of tick off, and it's free in a lot of places, even in audio versions, because it's so old. And it might be up your alley. You might want to try it out, honestly. So anyways, Liam from Liam's Lyceum. I will catch you next time.